You've got me at a rare moment when I've actually crawled out of my bunker.
Great to be here. Thank you very much for having me out.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. First time in California, so that's different.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump right in. The new coin app, or dApp really, is what you're calling like the first killer dApp. I like that. I like where you're headed with that. Will there be more that support like the XYO protocol and XY protocol, like other dApps? And then also, are you guys thinking about having some sort of like a centralized location where people can find all those, like a dApp store?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that going to be in the works, or?
So yeah, it's already been mocked up. The whole, we call it like the GeoDApp store, and then where you can actually even view the balances of all of the tokens in each individual GeoDApp.
Got it.
So the first thing is that, yeah, you caught that, is I called it, forget being the first killer GeoDApp. This is the first, we want it to be the first killer dApp. And what we've discovered, like we were looking at, this really came out of the brainstorming retreat that Ari, Marcus, and I had in December, where we wanted to kind of take a look at everything in the space, in the blockchain space, the future of technology, and everything, and kind of really shape our strategy for 2019. And what Ari brought up, and I didn't really realize or see this until he really brought it up, is everyone, like blockchain and Ethereum, the strategy that they are pursuing is they are trying to create a decentralized app from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like a maximalist philosophy where they will sacrifice the end user experience in order to have their dApp be like, a true decentralized application.
I understand what you mean by that.
Yeah, so
it is frustrating.
So our approach to this was, and Vitalik Buterin has said this recently, he's like, the number one most important thing in blockchain and Ethereum cryptocurrency is mainstream adoption, meaning you actually have to make it useful for the mainstream crowd, which means you need to not make it an absolute pain in the ass for the user to use. Every single cryptocurrency dApp that I've ever used, including CryptoKitties, and I love CryptoKitties, I've spent an irrational amount of money on CryptoKitties, okay? I tried to corner the market for green kitties, and I bought all of the green kitties, and I have like $1,000 worth of CryptoKitties right now. Now, it's a fun dApp, right? But it's also a pain in the ass for a mainstream user. It's like, to use it, every single time you click a button or want to do something, you have to like pay Ethereum gas out of MetaMask wallet.
And waiting for it to mine.
And waiting for it to mine, and waiting for it, and like imagine like if I'm going to communicate that to someone like my dad or my mom to use, right? She's not going to make it past the first step, which is like, go to Coinbase and like, pretty much it's almost like you're opening up a bank account, but it's even more of a pain in the butt process, right? And it's like people stop there. With Coin, and so our philosophy going forward with all of the dApps is let's let's not expose all of the underlying blockchain magic to the end user. They don't care about that stuff. They just want it to do one thing. They just want the app to work, right? So that's kind of the philosophy that we have rolled out with Coin. Is it's just, you can just start using it and it just works. You can create an account if you want to withdraw, right, your XYO. Mm-hmm. In the future, like, so that's how that started, is in the future, like we're gonna have automated, right, withdrawals. And then you can even like store the XYO like on your local wallet instead of having to actually like, request it or something. Like those are all decentralization features that we're gonna add I guess, probably pretty soon. But the first thing that we want to build first is the best end user experience. And so, yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, the coin app in and of itself, I opened it up. There was a sentinel near me. It found it. I clicked it. The money went.
It just floats to the top. Yeah.
I pressed the little mining button. So like you said, out of the box, it does just work.
Yeah.
It even let me click that before it made me sign up, which I thought was cool.
Yep.
Because I got to see what it was about.
You can use an anonymous user account, right?
So that part was pretty cool. I like that. So good to know that there's probably going to be some sort of like a GeoDApp store in the future.
And
as long as they all look like that, you'll be fine, I'm sure.
And more GeoDApps stuff coming out, which we have a thing that I don't know if you were on it or not, but the founding hodler registry, we call it. It's basically the list of all of the people from a year ago that participated and supported us in the early days, like the founding hodlers that participated in our main token sale. And so the goal there, and it's finished on the back end. I don't even know if it's published yet because we have a lot of moving parts going on, and we might even just publish it as part of, might even be in the XYO app that's coming out here pretty soon. Now the thing is that we want to reward them by adding extra bonuses and features. So Coin, like the Coin app, might have some special things coming out soon for founding hodler registry members.
That'd be smart.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
I like that.
Multiples on the amount that they earn, right? So yeah, fun stuff like that, and a GeoDApp store, all of that stuff.
I can see how an application that, because you guys were mentioning how like you're catching some of the spoofers early on and kind of banning them. The ability to be able to do that, to know when someone's spoofing and when they're not, is something that I know some other companies would want to pay for. Like to verify that someone did go to a place because they have to go to that place to receive whatever benefit it is.
That's the core of Coin. And the XYO SDK that does bound witness and proof of origin, the stuff that actually does the part of the magic what XYO is, which is bound witness and anti-spoofing, so you can't spoof it. That's coming out in, I don't know, like about a month. Okay. Because right now right now Coin just relies on GPS. It's just because we've rolled it out early, and then we're going to add the bound witness stuff that adds certainty to it. But that's when the magic is really going to happen. And Coin was designed basically. The next version, or that's going to come out, is going to have ERC20 support, so you can geo-drop any token or asset. But the main value is something. Right now, the working title, and it's probably going to remain this, is called Coin Manager. There's going to be a separate app so that you can download and install something called Coin Manager, so you can set up your own geo-drops around you. So if you're holding an event, and not just that, you can also launch your own coin on it too, right? Okay. So a platform to launch your own cryptocurrency. So if you're an artist, like an artist, like a music artist or something, or you have a community, or let's say you're Binance and you're holding meetups all over the world, and you want to incentivize people to attend the meetup, is you buy an XYO geo-mining kit, you set it up in the room, and use the Coin app to geo-drop, like let's say $1,000 worth of BNB token for any that the attendees at the Binance event can geo-mine when they attend, right? I like that. Boom, that's what it's designed for. So it's going to incentivize all of these micro economies, and it's going to help create all of these micro economies and create like this ecosystem to enable people to get their community, to prompt them to take action in the real world. So it's pretty freaking crazy. We thought through it very deeply on what Coin is going to look like in 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Yeah, you're always talking about how you have like a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan, and you're always looking like super far down the line. on how things are going. So I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, well, that is the DApp questions that I had for you. Can you go over the difference between what mining is going to look like on the Pi, on the actual bridge, versus how it works on Coin right now?
Yeah.
Like obviously the Coin we just went over, it's geo dropped, and but what's going to be the difference with when the actual, you know, the mining kit that we all received?
Yeah.
What's that going to look like for us?
Yeah. So the yeah, and I just wrote like a post about this like a few hours ago or something to, because I was going to be very like what is it called? Is the term with Coin is what's happening is we are geo-dropping XYO. It's basically Coin allows one to geo-drop digital assets that then the end users can collect when they're at a certain geolocation, right? And geo-mining, at least the way we define it, is when in the XYO network is when you have supplied data, right, to the network. So your Sentinel provides it to the bridge posts it up to the archivist, and then whenever someone wants to say like, hey, when's the last time you saw this device, or where has this device been in the world, or where is this device now, right? Someone queries the diviner goes and searches like this decentralized database of archivists and stuff like that, and what the basically the querier pays, right? The reward is then shared and spread amongst like the four components involved, like diviners, archivists, bridge, and sentinels. So that is like the traditional, or how we think of traditional, like true geo-mining, right? When you use Coin, you're really just claiming or collecting geo-dropped assets. However, when we integrate the XYO SDK into Coin, so it can run in the background and act as a sentinel in a bridge, right? When that happens, which is, we think it's going to be like first or second week of March. When that happens, you will, whenever you use Coin, you will effectively be geo-mining, and you'll be geo-mining, you know, it will run in the background while you are like collecting things. So it's really weird, but people love the term geo-mining. So instead of us trying to be like, when people use the Coin app, instead of us being like, no, it's not geo-mining, you're just collecting. It's like, no, we're not going to do that, because technically people love the word geo-mining, so we're like, fuck it, screw it. Like, we're just gonna run with it and use the word geo-mining. So, so that kind of clarifies, like, you know, how things are working right now in Coin. Now, in when like the network is up and running, right, and when you set up your bridge and you know, the Raspberry Pi, it's going to operate like fairly similarly to what you currently, if you've used it now, it's where it's like generates proof of origin points and stuff like that, right? It's going to be similar to that. The UI, we're completely overhauling that app and also doing the iOS version. It's going to be like completely new UI, features, everything, and it's going to be a lot more, you know, automated, right? So it's going to be basically, you don't have to press a button each time you want to geo-mine, right? You set up your bridge or your Sentinel once, and all the data it's going to just post automatically to the network. Yeah.
Okay. Can we talk about a time frame on when the bridge is going to be, like when that network is going to be ready, or are we still?
You will see a massive amount of stuff that'll be launching the first 2 weeks of March. It's our Aristotle release, we're calling it. And in 2018, we a lot of our strategy for releasing stuff is we published the roadmap like ahead of time, and then like kind of didn't give people the excitement or intrigue of the surprise, right? Right. We showed everyone everything. Everyone always knew what we were doing, what we're up to. In 2019, we're probably going to have more of that Apple type of approach or philosophy, where we're going to be announcing and showcasing like our roadmap with hey, some big XYO protocol and series of huge big XYO stuff is going to happen at this date. Get ready for it. And on that date, we're going to reveal all of it and blow people away with all the crazy stuff that we've got going on. So I don't want to get into specifics and ruin the surprises.
I won't ask you about timing anymore.
Yeah. But what they are all working on in the back is the actual core, network, actually being able to use it, because we launched the proof of concept on stage at Spatial, right? But the end user tools to use it right now, it's not user friendly. So that's what they're basically building, is so that that'll be like early March, basically. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think if you can make that a nice, elegant experience, how like Coin was just, you download it just works.
Yep.
I think it'll take off, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I was on Medium the other day, and I saw something about like a partnership with Hydro or Hydrogen and something called Snowflake.
Okay.
Do you know about that? Is that something?
So for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I have been in research mode and working on something that everyone's going to see very, very soon. Okay. So all of the specifics, I guess we're at that point now in our company where I don't know every single thing that's going on. So with that Hydro, I did see it. I scanned it. I don't know the details with Snowflake or any of that stuff. Yeah, but our guy Bryce knows all about that, so he can. Bryce and Alex. So
okay,
I'll be sure to.
Were they the team responsible for setting up that partnership or what have you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it seems based on what Hydrogen is trying to do with like data for like finance and stuff like that, it seems interesting. I was just curious how it was going to plug in, because it seems like there probably could be something there, but it just wasn't a lot of detail in the Medium post. So I'll check on that later or something. Yeah, cool. So we're going to space this year. It said December of this year. Is that like a finalized, that's the month that it's definitely happening?
That is the current plan.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of big things coming out in 2019.
Right.
I think the most important thing is the goal for 2019 is really like the ultimate goal is there's like I think over 7.4 or 5 billion people on this planet, right? I want every single person on this planet to have the core geo-mining and data mining nodes in their house, so that they are stewards of and have control of their own data. Because right now we're venturing off into an age, and like our current economy is really not run by the government anymore. It's run by corporations. Right. Like corporations are sovereignties. They're almost like their own countries, right? Like, oh, if you're a Googler, you're part of the Googler country, or this, And now these sovereignties, these corporations, are owning or have so much power, right? Like Amazon, for instance, or like Google, or like Waze, for instance. If Waze, or like Uber, if Uber basically is a corporation that owns like a good chunk of humanity's transportation, right? It's like, should a corporation really own that? Or are we getting into the next revolution, the next wave, where really no corporation should own that? It's almost like humanity should own that. And how does humanity own transportation? Well, you decentralize it, and that's where the excitement, I think, comes out of the blockchain and like what we're doing. So yeah, I'm not sure where I was going with that, or what your question was, but
launching into space.
Yes. Oh yeah. So we want to dominate the ground first, and then what space does and enables us to do is it enables us to link all of the connected, I guess, the network of nodes on the ground with something, I guess, basically in space that can then relay it to another network, right? And that's decentralized, so without having to trust a centralized entity. So we're kind of going at it. It might be a little too ambitious with us doing both dominating ground and space at the same time. But so we're working on it, so that we still have it planned to do with SpaceX, the SpaceX Falcon 9. It's a December launch, yeah.
Okay.
And right now we're building out the actual Ether X, the hardware, the thing that we're actually going to be launching. And we might even be doing a surprise with that as well. But anything we do, this year we took a lot. We did so many things last year that some of our products, I don't think they were 5-star products, and so our philosophy this year is 5-star or bust. For our hardware products and for everything, right? Is if it's not going to be a 5-star experience, then we need to cut down on a lot of the things that we do. And so, in terms of a priority, is if we can make our ground fleet of data miners and geo-miners, which will be coming out in the next year, in the next set of months, let's just say. Gotcha. The priority is, number one, is to make those 5-star products and 5-star experiences. And if we can do that as a 5-star product and also the Ether X as a 5-star product that works, then hell yeah, we're going to do it. If our resources are constrained, then our number one priority is to dominate the ground first. And so worst case scenario, we may have to delay the Ether X launch, I don't know, a few months or something. But the plan is we're going to try to get the December launch to be when we launch, yeah.
So reason for my question is because I've never been to to Cape Canaveral, the Kennedy Space Station, where they do a lot of those launches. Yep. And a lot of the ones that I saw in December were going to be in that launching from there. Uh-huh. And so I wanted to go there and party with you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I wanted to see if we could set something up like that, because I think that
you'll be the first to know.
I think some of the people, especially some of the like when you were on the AMA the other day, and you were showing some of the swag that people had and
it's amazing.
The case.
Yeah.
That's actually my friend Tom. That's his case that
really?
You were showing, and I noticed the case before I saw his name.
Yeah.
On the thing. Yeah, Tom's a great guy. I know some people like that would like to come out and hang out and
of course
make it a party. So I'm just saying we should make it a party if we're gonna go to space.
Of course. What we're trying to figure out how to do is and it just depends on the dates that they give us, because they give us a launch window. It's like November and December. Okay. But ideally what we would want to do would be to have next spatial is have a viewing party where we're all at the site, have our next spatial at the launch site and watch our frickin' satellite go up into space.
I like your idea better than mine. Mine was just going to be awesome. A little party.
No. This one would be
that would be like a party.
5,000 people.
Yeah.
All of us getting pumped and watching our rocket, and hopefully it doesn't blow up.
Okay. I like that idea. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Having it during a big event where you're explaining things, and it's and now let's watch the rocket ship go up to friggin' space. All right, cool. So I've been following you guys for a while, obviously, I haven't been able to figure it out, but hopefully maybe you'll point me in the right direction. A lot of the ideas that you guys have are really ambitious. Who would you say is crazier, Ari or you? Whose ideas are just all right, now hold on.
I would say that's why, so Ari and I, we moved together into the bridge. Okay?
Right.
Office, yeah. And the magic happens when both of us sit together and come up with these crazy ideas. Together. I would say we were both okay, so who's crazier?
Like who has to?
Probably, actually, it's hard to say. I'm probably freaking crazier. Okay.
Like,
But
does he tell you more
has-
like, "Whoa, Scott, like let's
No,
do this
no,
first,"
no.
or
Like,
is it the other way? Or?
I'm probably crazier in terms of my what is it called? Immaturity, let's just say.
Okay.
But in terms of his ideas and thinking, like Ari said some things like a year ago that I was like, okay, you're just crazy. Like sounds like the Matrix. I don't believe it. But then like I would be digging into stuff and I would read more and more certain things about like the inevitability of where technology is going in the future. And I'm like, holy crap. And I would have to, and it was basically Ari's ideas, but the way in which I kind of pull it out of him, like his thoughts and thinking is like I can, his ideas are the crazy ones, but I basically take them and communicate them to the world, where it's hard for him to communicate them to the world. He's the, that's essentially where I come in. That's my job.
Okay.
And so yeah, we're both pretty freaking crazy people.
Okay.
That's all I will say.
I kind of got that vibe, but I just figured maybe
Yeah.
it was kind of like a competition.
Yeah.
You know?
it's like I would say The Matrix meets Star Trek meets Burning Man while on acid and doing cryptocurrency. Yeah. That's the combination. That's what working with us is like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, one of my kind of last questions. Like I mentioned, you guys are doing a lot of very ambitious things. What would be some advice that you might give another blockchain startup that has good intentions? A company or a project that's trying to change the world for the better. What philosophical advice would you give, and then what financial advice would you give?
The most important thing, you already covered it, is good intentions and authenticity. The thing that has made us, given us like the magic and made this thing really special is it all starts from a good core, like authentic reason for building what we want to build. So I would say if your ambition and goal is to do something that will make a dent on the universe, then just do it. There's no, you shouldn't think about timing stuff. Like a year ago, we were told by like 50 people to not launch our token sale in March. Everyone was delaying their launch because the cryptocurrency was starting to decline, and people were like, "Oh, it's going to come back in like June or July." Well, guess what? It never came back. Right. Guess what companies and guess what projects dominated? The ones that said, "Screw it, we are marching ahead, and we're going to bring you with us because what we are building is truly powerful. It's inevitable, and it has something of value." And we succeeded from that. So I would say, don't overthink things. Just here's the quote that I would leave people with is, motion over meditation.
I like that.
Don't meditate on stuff. Just frickin' do it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to write that on my whiteboard. I like that.
There you go.
So that would be more of like the philosophical side. Have there been any, like, okay, so for me, for example, when I first got into everything, having the name blockchain anything attached to our business made it kind of hard to even just find a bank.
Oh yeah.
Like that was a whole thing for a while. I was trying to find a bank that
would actually accept
our. I want to put my money here. Will you please take it?
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst.
Do you have any financial kind of advice that you might give someone or a company that's trying to change the world?
Through cryptocurrency or blockchain?
Yeah.
I would say, so we have had the same exact issue in things. It's like basically the institutions that are going to be rendered obsolete from the technologies that we're building, they don't want to have anything to do with us. It's really annoying. So like, you know, name any bank, right? Is like they are not fans of cryptocurrency, right? So for me, I luckily don't have to deal with that. Like there's so many banks, and it just means more work on someone. Like we have people that specialize in that over here, and their job is literally to go to different banks and, you know, find different backups for different things, right? But when I hear that type of thing, it's like a bank won't accept you as a client with your own money because it's cryptocurrency or blockchain related. If I was, and which I will probably get my hands dirty in that problem soon again, but I look at those problems as motivation and as like, oh hell yeah, good. I don't want to bank with you anyways because I'm gonna freaking take you down, like Bank of America, all of them. So what I like to do is I like to turn every single obstacle or annoying thing into our biggest strength and opportunity. Okay. So what does that mean? It means like, oh, okay, great. I don't want to touch or accept your money anyways. I'm going to do such a good job of teaching people how to get cryptocurrency and pay with cryptocurrency that they don't even want to use, you know, your fee-sucking credit card or, you know, bank payment or anything to pay to, you know, fund my business with. They want to use cryptocurrency. Right. And that's how I would address it. So for anyone that is encountering that issue, the thing is, so that instance, that issue, basically, here's what business is. Business is a series of those, like every single day, just never stops, right? So it's using that annoying situation as motivation and it's an opportunity to dethrone the banks and the government and the world. Okay. I wouldn't really take it that far, but
I'm down with dethroning the banks and the government. You know, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those were the questions that I had. I really enjoyed some of your answers. I am going to press you more about the hydrogen Snowflake deal. I want some answers on that so I can write a blog about it.
Why don't you? Okay. After this, I'll bring you over to Bryce and Alex, and then
cool.
Dig in on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Any other things that you want the people to know?
No.
I think you kind of dropped a few.
I will say this.
Surprises in there. So
this guy Tim you're an awesome fan and follower of us and what we're doing, and I think a few people recommended in our Facebook group or something that you were doing such an amazing job, and I've seen a few of your videos that I don't even do that many interviews. Like lately, Larry, you know, our communications guy, is trying to get me to like do more interviews, but I'm like, nope, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to do anything. I'm in research mode, planning out 2019. Right? But I wanted to do this interview and do this with you because I really appreciate all of the hard work that you've been doing and everything that you've been doing in the XYO community. So
thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. Well, yeah. Happy we did this.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming out.
Definitely.
Yeah.